looks like they've taken the face off Galarian Meowth and slapped it onto whatever this thing's called. What's up, guys? It's Billy here at Game Crunch. I was going to make a video this morning about this whole Palworld thing going on because they're being accused of using AI to create these Pokemon. I could see it. And then I see that there's another article that's being released and more stuff's happening. So then now I have to make a video about it. I don't really have much options. So let's talk about what's going on with the Palworld developers. And if you think that maybe things were created with AI and altered using existing Pokemon. So let's get into this article here that I've found on VGC and another article that they've just done on VGC as well. And let's get our opinions on it here. So let's get right into it. So Palworld embroiled in AI and Pokemon plagiarism controversy. So social media user highlights, character design similarities, and developers' generative AI history. So we'll get into that later. I did read this one earlier. I haven't read the second article, but we'll get into that after. So there's a little bit of... looks like they've taken the face off Galarian Meowth and slapped it onto whatever this thing's called. I don't know if I have that guy. I have been playing Palworld. I'm probably like 6 or 7 hours into it, and I'm enjoying it. I don't know if I'm going to get too deep in it. I don't know if it's going to keep me hooked, but we'll see. Anyway, Steam's newest hit survival game, Palworld, has been accused of plagiarism as social media users negatively highlight its creator's historical association with generative AI tools. So from what I understand, they have talked about in the in previous Twitter posts and whatnot about AI and using AI in ways like this for regenerating, I guess, character models and spitting them out into this. So we'll see. So it's actually by a Japanese studio, Pocket Pair, released earlier in early access on Xbox and PC. I'm playing on the Xbox Series X. It immediately became a breakout success, claiming 2 million sales. I think it's over 4 now. Like, it's going. Huge launch, exposure reignited discourse that followed Palworld since its announcement around its character designs, appearance, similarity to Pokemon. Yeah. Although the gameplay of Palworld is closer to survival games like Ark and Rust, and for me, I played a lot of Conan. I get a lot of Conan vibes from it, but they're pretty much all the same. The Game Freak series, yeah, I mean, like, game design, like how the game works, is very different than Pokemon. I would compare it more to Legends Arceus than I would to a regular Pokemon, because you can like run and like throw your Pokemon out, and they can, or your pal, you run and throw your pal. I keep calling them Pokemon. Even when I'm playing the game, I keep calling them Pokemon. Anyway, so you can throw them out and they can do their thing while you're doing your thing, and it's all good. So many social media users have noted the obvious influences of character design taken from the Nintendo series following Palworld's release on Friday. Some Twitter, I refuse to call it X, users perceive similarities. It's not even subtle ripoffs. How much is it stolen? Wrote one user. I want to like Palworld, but I don't know if I can support running existing Pokemon through a fuser and passing them off as a new IP. We'll get into that. This guy, since I'm bored as hell, I'm making a thread. So I looked at this earlier. This is very interesting that they've picked out all these different bits and pieces of different Pokemon and put them into what they believe is this PAL. Jumbled up, and maybe we can make this bigger. Hang on a second. Let's go to the actual Twitter post here, and maybe we can... There we go! Ear shape is admittedly different. Yeah, I mean... He's got the mane of this guy with the little things. Yeah, I see that. Concept swap, body shape. Yeah, I see that. Similar tail to Flareon. So it looks like... So they're saying that basically they took a Leafeon, a Galarian Arcanine, I think that is, Flareon, and Cinderace, I think its name is, and smushed them all together through some AI generator, and then they've come out with this guy that I don't know the name of. Some pretty good evidence there. But, well, let's continue. So, Sobble's Fin. Let's see here. What's this guy talking about? Sobble's Fin. There's not much information there. Galarian Meowth's face. Now this one, if you click this, like look at this guy. That is a Galarian Meowth face. Like go back to the right up here. It almost looks copy pasted. Like they darkened up the lines between the teeth, but like even like the space apart, like between the eyes and like where the mouth is located is almost completely identical on the same amount of teeth. Like you can count the same amount of teeth. I don't know. What do you think? Let's see what else we got here. The situation is further muddled in the eyes of some by Pocket Pair's historical relationship with generative AI tools. So this is what they're talking about earlier, and this is what I read. Artist, whoever on Twitter previously titles was AI Art Imposter, a game that would literally... So what are they saying? AI? Artist Zaytree noted on Twitter that one of its previous titles, AI Art Imposter. So did they have a previous title literally called... Let's click this. Oh. Is this by the same guys? Yeah, Pocket Pair. That's interesting. Now that's interesting. Okay. All right. The plot thickens. Highlighted. So they basically made a game that did that. User highlighted multiple historical Twitter posts by Pocket Pair CEO in which he appeared to praise the potential AI image generators. The use of generative AI is a significant pressure point in many creative industries. Yeah, I mean everyone everywhere is getting all upset about AI. I won't get into my opinion on AI. Maybe in another video if you guys really want to hear it. But at the end of the day, just quickly, it's technology. Technology is always going to advance, and this happens with everything, and everyone gets all outraged by new technology as it comes out. So it is what it is. Give it another 5 years, and we won't even care. So the use of generative AI, significant pressure point. Yeah. Earlier this month, ongoing lawsuit against Midjourney, Stability AI, and DeviantArt lists thousands of artists' names that players alleged have. So yeah, what these apps do essentially is just pull all this crap from the internet and mash it all together. That's what it is. But what does an artist do, really? Like, how much original thought do artists have? Like, if you think about a song, an artist, let's say Taylor Swift, she's gonna pull all her different influences from everything she's ever heard and everything she ever likes, and she's going to take it and mash it and make it into her own. It's just Taylor doing it. It's not a computer doing it. So it's very similar. One of Pocket Pair CEO's Twitter posts from 2022 discussed how he believed generative AI tools could one day be sophisticated enough to avoid copyright issues. And I mean, I don't know. Looking at these guys, I think they're going to avoid copyright issues. I don't think there's really any way to prove it that I know of, but in another potentially more damning post from 2021, Mizobi, that's the CEO's name, I think, showed how AI could be used to generate new Pokemon designs. Ooh, that's pretty damning. This does not, of course, prove any of the designs from Palworld were made with the help of AI. However, some believe that this was indeed the case. It could explain similarities with the game's design, especially since Palworld was made by a mostly inexperienced team. Could be. I mean, these guys look damn good. These pals, like, they look damn good. I look at these, and especially like that little sheep and the little cat that you get at the beginning, they look just like they could be Gen 11 Pokemon. Oh, man. So one team member, Mizobi, has claimed was even previously working at a convenience store. So basically they're trying to discredit them because they made this game with Unreal Engine and they generated everything with AI. And how could you do that when you just work at a convenience store? Well, maybe they do it in their spare time. I don't know. Look at me. I'm a personal trainer, but here I am making content about video games because I love video games. My two passions, fitness, video games. So here's a clip of gameplay that clearly shows utilizing an AI image generator. So this is from the other game. Do we care about this? Let's click it. Do we care? Here's a clip. Okay, so how does this work? What are these? Think about a phrase that is related to the theme. Conceal the theme from the imposter. Honestly, I don't know what's happening here, so I'm just gonna get rid of that. Here's the CEO of Pocket Pair talking about using AI to bypass. Okay, we already know about that. Here is, oh, this is his post. So this is, let's take a look at this. This is his post of, I guess, generative. Like, look at these guys. Look at these guys. They look like little Pokemon. This guy's cool. If he was, I mean, they're all cool. Like, they're all cool. And those are real Pokemon. We know that. That's language I don't understand. Blog post. CEO even claimed that Palworld's 100 character concepts were made mostly by a single graduate student. Well, if you think about it, I think... Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I probably am, but I believe it was one or two artists that basically designed most, if not all, of the original 151 Pokemon. But that's a little different because those are, or were, 2D sprites at the time. And if you look at these, some of the original, especially the Japanese ones, oh my god, they're terrible looking. But I mean, it's not outside of the realm of possibility. And what do you do? Like, what if he used this tool, his generative AI, and what if he smashed together like 6 different Pokemon to make this new one, and then he went in and he tweaked and edited some things and he kind of made it his own? Whose is it then? I feel like AI is such a gray area that I don't see how anything can be done. Elsewhere in the post, Mizobi discusses how Pocket Pair's previous game, Craftopia, was built mostly using off-the-shelf assets and how it started work on Palworld. The company had no animation staff. I mean, the animations are pretty basic in this game. Like, you swing your pickaxe, it looks like it was stolen straight from Fortnite. In fact, like, a lot of the vibes I get from playing this game are just... I think of more of like... feels kind of more Fortnite-y to me than it does, you know, Fortnite with friends. Is kind of how it feels like in that regard, with some survival aspects. So VGC asked Pocket Pair to comment on the story. Pocket Pair described its creator as an action-adventure survival game in which, okay, blah, 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 blah. Accusations of plagiarism. In Europe, the EU is moving to regulate generative AI, so that companies would need to disclose any copyrighted data used for training. And last week, Valve changed the rules around games containing AI-generated assets on Steam so that developers would need to disclose it clearly. I have heard of that. A lot of games, if they're using those AI assets, they just need to disclose it. So I don't know what that's going to even do in the grand scheme of things. Like, if there was a good game on Steam, let's say Palworld, for example, if there's a really good game on if there's a really good game on Steam, and like Palworld, and would you care? Like, if it had that little disclaimer, this uses AI content, I don't care. I'm entertained. What do I care? I don't know. That's kind of my opinion. Like, at the end of the day, it's gonna be like a parental advisory sticker or anything. Like, nobody cares. Let's read this second article. Palworld Pokemon plagiarism accusations pile, a CEO response. So this looks interesting because I think is this a Palworld model? Because it doesn't look like Luxio. Like, he doesn't have the same circular ears. I don't recognize this particular guy from my playing of the game, but I've only got like maybe 20 of them or something like that, and I guess there's 100 or so. Director of Steam's colossal breakout hit Palworld has responded to allegations of plagiarism. Let's see what he says. Since launching and blah, blah, blah. Oh, they're saying over 5 million now. 1.3 million concurrent Steam players. Whew. However, the survival game's success ignited discourse around the perceived similarities between its characters. Yeah, we already know all that. Although the actual gameplay of Palworld is very different. Yes. We've already seen this post. Let's get on with it. On Monday, the game director, CEO, blah, 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 posted a response to the accusations. While he did not deny any influence from Pokemon, I think that's pretty obvious. We know the game is very Pokemon-inspired. But it's clear that it's not its only inspiration. It's clear that it's got, Ark in there. It's got Fortnite in there. It's got Pokemon in there. It's mashed them all together and made a pretty fun game, to be honest. We do not. We currently are receiving abusive and defamatory comments. Man, I don't know why you guys on the internet do this crap. Seriously, it abusive and defamatory comments. Doesn't matter. Like, even if they took everything and they mashed them all together and made this AI video game, okay, and they're making a living off it and they're feeding their families and 4 or 5 million people are having fun playing it, leave them alone. They did a cool thing. You know what I mean? Even, it's not easy. Even just because they used AI does not mean that making this game and making a fun game is easy. Okay? Give them credit where credit's due. Sure, they took some shortcuts. Wouldn't you? There's just no reason to use abusive and defamatory comments just because you think that maybe they took some inspiration from some of your favorite Pokemon. We'll have received various opinions about Palworld. It's important to note that the supervision of all materials related to Palworld is conducted by a team, including myself. I bear the responsibility for the produced materials. I would appreciate it if these comments towards ours was... Yeah, okay. So he's just asking people to not be jerks and disgusting people. However, the accusations of the Palworld took another turn on Sunday when an anonymous Twitter account, appeared claiming to show evidence of it, not just design inspiration, but plagiarism, actual game assets. So this is what we're looking at here with the, that's Lycanroc. Is it Lycanroc? User Bill posted several videos comparing Palworld's in-game 3D models. Okay, let's take a look at this. I don't want to read that crap anymore. Let's see. Let's open this up. Oh, let's play this. Okay, so this is Lycanroc. Okay. Oh, they're putting Lycanroc and this other one on top of each other. Okay. I see it. Now, what I am going to say about that is Pokemon in general are very inspired by real-world creatures in some way or another, and they may be creatures of legend even, or they may be dinosaurs that have gone extinct, or it might be as simple as a sheep. Now, if you take a sheep that someone else designs for a video game and a sheep that someone else designs for a video game and you put them side by side, so let's say if you got this pal that is inspired by a wolf and then you got this Pokemon that's also inspired by a wolf, are they going to look alike? Well, they're both wolves, so yeah, I mean, they are. So there's certain ways that you're going to make the legs look, and there's certain ways you're going to make the ears look, and the head, and the tail, to make it kind of look like a wolf. So, but who knows what they did. Let's take a look at another one. I digress. So this is Luxio or Luxray, I can't remember. On top of Luxray model. You and your cousin have the exact same proportions. That is close. That is very, very close. So what do they think they did then? Do they think they literally pulled the Pokemon models out of, let's say, Scarlet and Violet and just sucked them out and spit them back out, changed a few polygons? I don't know. According to two experienced AAA game artists who spoke to VGC, the model comparisons on Twitter are likely evidence that Palworld's character models were indeed based on Pokemon assets. You cannot in any way accidentally get the same proportions on multiple models from another game. Makes sense. Without ripping the models, or at very least tracing them meticulously at first. One senior character artist... That's a good point. I mean, looking at those other two character models, the way they kind of sat over top of each other like that, almost perfectly... That is pretty damning, I would say. But what are you going to do? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. They explain, to give an idea of how impossible this is, sometimes we have to copy one mesh to another when we make sequels to games. For example, redrawing an NPC from one game to another. And even when we rework those old models, they sometimes match this closely due to rigging changes that might need to happen. There have been times when dozens of artists are given the same concept art to create a 3D model, for example, during art tests for jobs. I've seen 30 artists try to make the same horse using the exact same schematics. None were as close to each other as these Palworld models. I mean, that's a good point. You're going to have one guy's going to have the leg be a little bigger. One guy's going to have the leg be a little wider. One guy's going to have it be a little thinner. One guy's going to have the eyes a little here, a little there. The ears are going to come out. One guy's going to have a little bit more fur, which you do see little differences like that. And when you blow them up to the same height, then yeah, I mean, the proportions are going to... But, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of this, really, at the end of the day. None of those were as close to the Palworld model. Other stated character artists in the game industry agreed the model comparisons could be compelling evidence of plagiarism. The wireframe meshes look different, so they're not the same model, but it's so close and they may have built over the top of Pokemon models to make a few changes so they weren't exactly the same. I mean, I can see that. Let's take a look at this superior looking thing here. So Palworld's rip of Superior and Primarina. It does look like a rip of Superior and Primarina. I can't say that it does not look like a rip off of Superior and Primarina. Doesn't Primarina even have like a little pink thing on her tail? I don't know. Let's Primarina. Let's look at an image of Primarina. Nope, I am wrong. Wrong. Never mind. This one keeps me up at night. Are they the same? The Sobble one is weird. So we saw that picture of Sobble earlier because it's almost has to be a rip, right? They're kind of similar, but at the same time, Palworld Finn is pretty different geometrically. Sobble is in the second pick. So they are different geometrically. And I wonder what sort of aquatic animal they decided to take the fin from to make this fin. There's clearly a real world animal this is inspired from. When does heavily inspired become blatant copy? It's much easier to take a successful style and tweak it slightly than it is to come up with a new one. Blah, 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 blah. Let's move this along. Pocket pair of comment on the story. If 3D models do not provide compelling evidence of copying, that raises the question of possibility of legal action from the Pokemon Company. That's a company you don't want to mess around with when it comes to plagiarism. If they can find something here... Oh man, these pocket pair guys are going to be in trouble because the Pokemon Company will make an example of these guys. These guys will be done. Their lives will be ruined. The Pokemon Company will have no qualms or problems ruining these guys' lives. Historically litigious organization, which is frequently targeted fan games. Yeah, I mean, they do that crap all the time. You can't even make fan games. There have been examples in the past from games being removed from Steam with accusations. David Hansel, no longer property, blah, blah, blah. Said if it could be proven that elements of 3D models were the same, that it would represent a smoking gun for any legal case. Yes. And I bet you Nintendo's already on top of this. They're probably looking at this stuff up and down already, trying to see if there's something that they can do there. So it's down to Nintendo to absolutely prove copying. Yes. Not merely taking influence, he told VGC. It's got to be obvious copying. You look at one picture, you look at the other beside it. The industry would have come to an end years ago if you weren't allowed to take any influence. That's what I was saying earlier. Even artists are literally just pooling all the stuff they've ever seen. So when you tell an artist to design a horse, what's he going to do? He's going to think in his head, he's going to look at pictures of horses, and he's going to take them all and make his own horse. Just like AI will. Pokemon Company will be looking for smoking gun. Yeah, I already said that. These are original Pokemon models shown in the videos. The Nintendo should be home and dry in terms of demonstrating copying. Hoeg, the law attorney, Richard Hoeg. I can't speak to the science used on this Twitter account, in quotes. But certainly evidence of actual assets being stolen is the kind of thing that is likely to make more successful case. Simply being inspired by existing designs, even if that goes as far as using certain design rules, proportions, colorization, curve usage, eye size, is generally not. So I think that there's enough change here that these guys are going to be fine. I don't think anything's going to come of this. So when you look at these, they definitely look Pokemon inspired, but they do not look completely ripped off of any Pokemon that I've seen. There's been ones where I've looked at it and be like, okay, this kind of looks like this Pokemon, but I mean, it's not. We make our games very seriously, so this is the Pocket Pair CEO, I guess, making another statement. We have absolutely no intention of infringing upon the intellectual property of other companies, he said. Of course he's going to say that. Of course he's going to say that. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? I just wanted to kind of look at these articles and get an idea. I saw the first article and I read the first article earlier, and then I saw the second article when I just got home. So I wanted to make a video kind of culminating both of those. Sorry it took a little long, but thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps my channel grow so much. So anytime you guys like and subscribe my videos, huge thank you. I do want to make this into a much bigger channel than what it is currently, so anything you guys do greatly helps that cause. So thank you very much for watching. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'd love to hear what you have to say below. If you've seen any pals that are very similar to any Pokemon that you know of. Take care, guys. Have a good one.